Welcome to the very first episode of Candid Dialogue. I'm your host, William Cooksey. Today on our show, we got a jazz legend for you. He's toured all over the world. He's been in the game for over 30-something years. He's played with some of the biggest jazz musicians that you probably listen to on your radio in your car. We got the one and only Dar'rell Green.
Hey, what's up, man?
How you doing, brother?
What's going on, man? Proud of you, man.
Man, thank you.
Doing this.
Before we get going, I gotta say this.
What's that?
I appreciate you for doing it.
Okay.
Because, when I told you I wanted to do it, you said you would be there for me.
That's right.
And so that's why I wanted you to be the first guest, because it means something to me special, because even though we ain't blood, you my uncle. So I want to put that out there and just say thank you very much for doing this for me.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man.
Because I know you
you my family. I just seen you grow, man. We've been in a lot. I know you. Yeah, man. We been in a lot and have a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun what we do in this music thing. There's a lot of trickery in it, though. It's a lot of trickery in it. And then when you got people who are like family, you can navigate some of the sharks and the snakes and foxes and the wolves. You have all that in this game, man. And you know who it is. One thing you learn about people, you read people real fast in this game. If you don't, you won't last. A lot of people say, well, man, and I sacrificed a lot. I didn't, for my family, young family, I did not just sell my soul for the music. I love the music, but the industry, you might as well do something else.
That's what makes it tough. So let me ask you this. So what inspired you to get into music? Like you said, you've been in over 30 years. What made you want to get in the business?
When we were kids, first of all, I seen how my cousin Mike Booth, he's dead now. He not too long ago died. He was a trumpet player in my older brother's band. And I seen, the dude wasn't that good of a trumpet player, but he had to get the gab. He played about two notes. Toodoo, how y'all ladies doing tonight? And the girls just loved it. He'd be nickel, slick, dollar shine, he clean. And I just like, man, I want to be like that cat. What? The music and how he could move the crowd and make them cry, make them happy. So I wanted to learn my craft. And in our neighborhood, like I said before, every block had a band, at least one band jamming, shedding. Cats was shed back then, So, yeah, that's what made me want to get into it and the joy of it. First it was the ooh and ahs, but then it was the love of it. And then it's kind of like husband and wife's love. It gets like this, but then when it goes broad, it gets into so much other stuff. The notes, theory, scales and all that. It gets way deeper, so you can get lost in it.
So you've always liked playing music? Like when you were younger, you heard other people doing music, and then it made you say, okay, I want to do music myself.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And then my older sister, it was so funny. It was funny. She was learning classical and piano learning. My brother was an old school funkster, he playing bass, big afro. And I had all that, and my parents didn't want me in it, So I'm sneaking what he's doing in the classical, learning the keyboards, and then I'm listening to bass, and that's what got me really into it. Then when I started getting good, my parents still didn't buy my instrument. I think I cut a couple yards back then to get at least $25. I think I was telling them $5 a yard, man. And my older brother had the other money, and we went to the pawn shop and brought a saxophone for $50. So a $50 saxophone had me working for 2 weeks because I wanted it so bad. And I think we had rubber bands on where the spring's supposed to be, and glue, but I played that old raggedy horn, man. Yeah, I played it till I could afford one, you know.
Why jazz?
Now, actually at the beginning it wasn't jazz at all. It wasn't jazz at all. It was actually funk. You know, it was 70s. They were doing the 70s. Everybody was jamming. I was a singer.
You were singing?
I was singing, man, and that's how you get the girls. I'm gonna be real. I saw my cousin, man. I ain't sitting back there with no horn all up in my mouth. I'm gonna get the girls and do some singing. I wasn't that great of a singer, but I was an entertainer. You know, I dropped to my knees and act a fool. And so that's how I started. So my real journey was we had a group, True Image, and then we had a group called, I can't think right now, but we had another group. But the True Image group was the one that was hip hop, R&B, with Teddy Riley, the New Jack. After the 70s, it was the 80s, so we was New Jacking. And then after that, that band lasted about 3 years. And that, honestly, if we had the technology now, that band would have been a world-class band, because we were all from 20 to 24. And only one of us was married for a while, because we was 20 to 24. Ain't nothing else to say. But that band, how we shared on Saturday, we would shed from 5 o'clock to 12, go to the club. Some of us said, come on, man, we going back to we had a little spot we rehearsed and practice, because we wanted to be tight. And then we start traveling. We rent like a minivan and put all of us in, equipment and everything. And Mount Vernon, Illinois, they thought we was superstars, because my boy Lex Anderson, and he's a producer now. He's done a lot of stuff. He put our poster on the van and duct taped it. So we riding down the highway, and it's getting beat up, right? It's all torn. So when we come to the club, we like, man, this is bad. So we walk back into the club, they ripped it off. The girls was ripping it off, so he put another one up on the thing, put it on the light post. So we did we call it guerrilla marketing back then. And we would go into a city a week before and put posters up, talk to club owners, go to liquor stores. We hung out at the liquor stores.
So y'all was the street team and the performer.
We didn't even know what we was doing. We found out we was doing guerrilla marketing. Yeah. You know, we was putting mailers in people. Hey man, this block here, they like this. We trying to figure that out. Yeah, so we was doing that kind of stuff, man. And then probably in the 90s, I hooked up with Rashard Patrick, Iceman. Now Iceman, I think he knew Tommy Mottola and all that, but he came back to Indy, and then I don't know, and Randy Broaddus was on the team to help Babyface album. So Randy was on our team too. So we had Iceman, Randy Broaddus, George Middleton. George Middleton, renowned keyboard player here in Indy, got a new album out. Shout out to George, because he's my brother, you know, he in music. So what happened, we said, man, let's try hip hop jazz. You know, now grant you, Herbie Hancock did Rockin' It. Brenton Marcellus, his brother, did I can't think of the album, but it was hip hop. But we were saying the album we did, Clubs Not Closed. When we did that, wasn't nobody in Indy doing it like that. Because we was dressing in like jerseys like this, young guys kicking it. And Ice, I mean, you know, he was a unique cat, but he was a phenomenal producer, man. And Derek Williams was our drummer, and we had a plethora of guys. So that brought the jazz in. Really, the jazz jumped off in the 90s. and it was not really jazz because the jazz heads thumbs down. You know, we went into one jazz club and they thought we was gonna play some straight ahead. We go to college campus. We need bodyguards because it was so funky. You know, you think about you had a band, a cat playing the horn, a DJ on the stage, drum machines, MP3, percussions, bass player, guitar, all that jumping off. They was like, man, what is this? And the young kids ate it up.
So nobody wasn't doing that. So what inspired you, or who were some of your influences to do that?
Like you said, you got to give it to the originators, man. Herbie, I study Herbie, man. I mean, he's deep, man. He's and then for the jazz heads out there, they're gonna love that. I seen him do a piano duel with Chick Corea, and pound for pound, just as cold. Then I go see him do Rockin' It. I seen that concert. I'm thinking this guy, and then so he was one of my superheroes. But let me tell you who's really my superhero. Mr. Cooper at my 6th grade, when I was in 6th grade. And here's why. I was an inner city kid. We had a little ragtag school band. They put us in a boiler room. And you could hear the boiler way over on the other side. And we was on this side. So nobody even wanted to walk over there because we thought something was jumping off or whatever, right? Because you'll be playing and you, and that's the school boiler room. School 73. A lot of people remember School 73. So what he did for us as kids, now you talking about 12-year-old kids, some struggling, you know, I could tell some of the kids, you know, we wasn't too bad. We did all right. But the point is, he took the time to teach us marching. But nobody doing that with no 6-year-old. He made us like a marching band. And we sold, I think we sold candy for our little Robert Brownie shirts. You know, the school wasn't even helping him. And if I could find it, I hope he ain't deceased, you know. But what I want to say is that he taught us some stuff that you don't learn until you're in high school. And here's the caveat. Here's the crazy part. He copied a book that we all couldn't afford. It was a book like this. The section for us was about this big. He copied it for all of us, and I still got it to this day. That's how much that man means to me. You know what I'm saying? So them kind of guys were my heroes. And you know, I had the privilege to play with Phil Coleman. Them older cats who saw something in me and like, hey, little dude, go ahead and get you some. You know, Paul House was another guy I remember. Was a monster bass player. Taught me a lot about theory. So those kind of people, you know, yeah, you got the superstar heroes that you can't touch. We know we can't touch them. But them inner city cats like that, was my hero. You know, because they could have been, Mr. Cooper probably could have been a world-renowned player. I heard him recitals and stuff. Could not believe how heavy he was. So yeah, man, it was wild. It was wild back then.
And you know, you said something about being in the game for over 30 years, right?
Yeah.
So to last that long, you've had to have ups and you've had to have downs.
Man.
So the reason why we wanted to do this podcast is because regardless if you're an entrepreneur, if you want to be in the NBA, football, whatever, music, entertainment, whatever you want to do, there's going to be ups and there's going to be downs. And like you said, there's certain people that you look to as your hero, but you're never going to be able to touch them. You're never even going to be able to talk to them.
Yeah, you know, like Prince.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew I was going to ever be I was getting close, but
right.
I was 4 or 5 people away from being.
Right. So that's why we do this. It's so that we can have conversations with people who've been in those spaces, and then a person can look at this and say, that's where I want to go. What did he do to overcome this? And what did he do to get there? So the ups are always good, right?
Yeah.
But what are some of the downs that you had, and how did you overcome those downs?
Well, I think for me and the fellas of True Image probably would have to say the downs of that band. I mean, that band could have been a monster, man. When it was back in the day, it was No ID here in Indiana. And a lot of people know them. No ID with Donnie Phillips, lead vocals. Do sound like Donnie Hathaway. Cold voice. And then you had Polygenic Men, and then it was us, True Image. Now, Polygenic Men and No ID got the most play in the city. I realized out the gate, me and my business partner, Lex, me and him ran the band. We realized that we could make more money playing on our own dime. So a lot of people wanted to sign us back then. So one of the down parts was some of the things people get caught up into, man. You know, things. And here's before I answer that, here's a piece that I was thinking about. There's a lot of people in the industry who ain't got a lick of talent. But they got money, know-how, and connections. And that's what ruins the genuineness and the creativity. And my whole journey, people want to talk about those propositions. That stuff's real, man. And if, you have to be calm because you want to crack the cat's neck who talking to you like that. No, I've been in a situation, man, where I'm like, you know what? And my boy's like, no, come on, D. Let's calm down. And then I have some friends who sold out, and I'm going, dang, they done made it. But now they kill themselves because they lost their integrity. So for me, the down part was that our band just couldn't hold. It was a bomb. It was shaking because we were doing stuff like the mint condition sound. And matter of fact, one of Indianapolis greats, I'm gonna call him a great, and I'm giving his flyers real quick. Paul Thomas. I never forget this. We was playing at a hotel. He walked out there. I think he had his song out. It was hitting the radio. And everybody in Indy like, man, this dude is, he's out. Because he was out there. It was hard to get a record deal. So he comes in, he says, man, who are you young cats? And we, like I said, we're 20 to about 24. And he said, man, if y'all stick together, y'all gonna wreak havoc in this industry. Because the only band was that hot as us was Mint Condition. Now I hope when whoever sees this part, I think, and where's the camera I can look at? Which one? This one? I'm saying this to all the True Image cats. If y'all see this, back me up on what I say. That we were a uniquely talented band that was on that level, man. So I just, that was a downfall because we broke up due to egos, due to not want to sign record deals. There was some record deals, man. We would have signed them. We would have got 8 alive. Some of us was mad, talking about, you don't control my life. And I'm like, man, well, you don't control mine because I'm not going to do, when they invite you, the thing is, when they invite you into the party, you think you made it. And the party is off the chain. And you're going, dang, man, I want this. But you're going to be the trick at the party next time, though. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, you come in, oh, wow, I want to be a part of this. So I just think the downfall, I think, for me was that we couldn't stay together as a band, man. And we could have stuck together as a band. I don't know what we would have sound like. I don't know what would have happened. So woulda, coulda, Yeah. Woulda, coulda.
So once you got past all of that, what are some things that when you were being on your own that you feel like you wish you could have done better or you wish you would have done? Because like you said, there's always ups and downs.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, no matter what business you in, you will have more downs.
You have a lot of downs.
Yeah, but then you look back and you say, man, if I would have did this,
Yeah.
I could have did that.
But you know what, nephew? Here's the thing. All them downs make you a stronger person. It's like putting that piece of metal in that fire and keep smacking it. You know, I used to hear people, oh, Green, you ain't gonna never make it. But what is making it? See, we got to get to the point where we figure out in the industry what is making it. Is making it selling your soul and being famous. Now, everybody ain't selling their soul, maybe. I don't know. People I know, they have. But making it could be you a billionaire with friends, your music, and you billions comes in different forms. It comes in people too. Quality of friends. Hey, how many people you know got quality friends that they can count on? A lot of people don't got that. So when you start talking about making it, I look now that making it was really learning my craft, putting out a good product, and when somebody hires me, I'm gonna put a monster show on, even to this day. So that's kind of for me, and my son's in music. To play with my son on stage, unbelievable, man.
So that's a part of your ups. And so what it sounds like you're saying is that each individual person has to realize what their success is.
Yeah.
What they're making it is.
Yeah.
Because it's relative to the person.
Exactly.
One person to say making it means I got up here, but the other person says, well, I got here.
Yeah.
And all I had to do to get here was what I'm comfortable with.
Right.
You got up there, but I'm uncomfortable with some of the things you had to do
Yeah.
to get up there. Like you mentioned your family. You ain't sacrificing your family.
sacrifice
You ain't going to
that.
compromise other
No.
things that you deal with.
Right.
So when you look at your ups, what are some of the ups? You mentioned playing with your son.
Yeah.
For you right now, year 30, whatever.
Yeah.
What
whatever.
are you looking for right now?
Well, man, I had to be for real looking forward to doing an album. What they call it? Not an album, about 4 songs. EP.
Like an EP, okay.
With my son. You know, to play with him and him producing me. Marketing stuff, really getting out there and marketing my new single. I got a new single coming out.
Okay.
It's fire.
Let's talk about it.
It's fire, man.
Okay.
It's fire. We're gonna do the video. We're gonna do the single. He's gonna produce the music. I'm also working with 2 bands. I'm working with I'm gonna be working with Earl Strovan, DJ Baseline, we call him. He's a DJ too. And then I got a band of my own that I'm trying to develop with my son and another friend of mine who plays bass, and I'm working on that piece. And just trying to move forward like that, man. Trying to rejuvenate. Cause here's the thing, and a good friend of mine, Ruben Spearman, always say it. He said, Green, you get a single, you get a track, it's hot, and then you go back into the closet, so to speak, and then you got to rebuild that momentum.
Be more consistent with it.
More consistent. He
Yeah,
said,
okay.
but you know, I'm getting to a point in my life too. I really just don't care about all that. I love. But somebody said, "Well, man, you don't have enough likes. We can't hire you. You don't have enough likes." I said, here's the thing I do with all that like stuff. I can put the butts in the seats, and I showed them that now. I used to just show them that. I said, this is what I did on my own. They call the venue, see if I'm lying or not.
They got fact checked, huh?
They like fact check.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, you hired me, I'm going to tear it up, you know. So that's kind of where I'm at. My son is telling me, Pops, you still need to be more organic. You need to show your new studio setup. You need to show that you get your little club space. Us playing at the club space, you know. So those are the ups for me right now. I'm excited. The club thing was just for me and my wife. But my sons and different people say, hey, show videos of our band playing. I play in a band with my son and another guy. And then my big band is Earl Chauvin and his cats.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I go out of town, I'm playing with out-of-town bands. Like June the 1st, I got a show. And I'm going to tear it up, you know. But I want to, like he said, I want to be more organic and keep doing that. That's why I'm trying to get things set up. But the new single is fire, man.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's gonna. It's kind of cool to see what your son can do. Now I'm really busy, but he's showing me a different calmness of groove. You know, I'm just old school. I believe you're supposed to get out, just break your instrument when you play, but sometimes you can creep up on it. You know, so I think that is my up right now. Feel like I'm being rejuvenated. I'm working hard for the show in June, but it's getting a little harder because I'm getting a lot.
As you get older,
I get older. Yeah, it's getting harder.
Yeah.
I mean, when I give out stage, my knees swole and stuff. You know.
And you mentioned being on stage. I've gone to see a lot of concerts. I'm a music guy, right?
Yeah.
I've never seen a jazz performer perform like you. Your stage presence is a little bit different because when a person comes to see you, it's music, it's a little comedy, it's a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
So who influenced you to perform that way, or is that just you being you?
I'm gonna say it's both. It's
Okay.
a little bit of both. It's probably 40% watching people and 60% that I'm jacked up in the brain. I act a fool. I'm clowning everybody in the audience. I'm singing.
Right.
Sometimes even though I just sing, I make them sing with me. But the thing I think too is that I'm a multiple instrument musician. I play keys, bass, drums, sax now. You know, COVID, I learned bass and drums real good. So I think, and then I had to give it up to another flyer. Is Rodney Stepp here in Indianapolis, and
okay.
I'm praying for you, Rodney, to get better. He's got a kidney transplant that we're praying to go successful. I think it will.
That don't violate HIPAA, do it? Saying that
What saying?
His kidney. We gotta say allegedly.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm
Well,
just
they'll cut that in the edit. They might leave that in. Hey, you can get sued for all kinds of stuff, man. I mean, you can get sued for talking about this bottle. I feel you shouldn't have to talk about that bottle. Nah.
Grand opening and grand closing.
Grand
Okay.
closing.
Right.
Yep, it just started.
Yeah.
But no, he was a cat that I saw that dude show, and I said, okay. I got to step my whole game. But then when you start watching other musicians who play, see, here's my thing. I'm just from the old school where we interact. And once again, I go back to my cousin where we interact, where he was talking to you. He was taking you on a journey. I had one show I did, and the lady said, I'm tired. I said, really? She said, no, I'm tired from having fun. And I said, okay, I'll never change. Because what I like to do, I even challenged one side of the audience where I played at Jazz Kitchen with Goldie Ingram. And she's a phenomenal artist too, man. She's cold. She playing with Ronnie Laws a lot. Ronnie Laws, she play out in California. But anyway, I had this side of the crowd going against that side of the crowd and in the middle. So I love to see people lock in, but then I love to keep flipping because you remember, I think at one show I had some video footage of when the Haiti situation came. And I wrote a song called Haiti's Cry. And when I did that, people were crying. And it was showing videos how people in Haiti are being treated. And it was called Haiti Cry, and it took them on a journey. Then we snapped them right out of that and start partying. I said, all right, dry your eyes. So we party. So I like to take people, I like to do this to them. Take them on a journey. Instead of, wow, he's good. You know, I want to come out in the audience, pick with you, especially the one ain't been moving. I'm coming at you. And you better be moving because I'm coming after the one that's going like this. Like, please. I'm coming after that one.
Mm-hmm.
So, no, that's what I get my energy from, and just the love of people,
Mm-hmm.
man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and let my band shine. You know, really, all that I'm doing, when I'm, all right, band, give me something. Boom, they hitting, breaking it down. They shining too. So, yeah, I think that's what I get it from. I get it from watching cats like that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't think of nothing else really except just watching them guys. Rodney Stepp to me is a phenomenal showman.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen his shows. And then all the cats, man. You know, they out there, like I told Paul Thomas, he played at the Whiskey A Go-Go in L.A. And I thought I said, man, that's a feat. And he motivated me. And then Goldie told a friend of ours, Mike McQueen, that I played, and Mike seen my tape. And now I'm in California.
Mm.
And a lot of times I'm out there, I may do some MCing. But I'm not really a comedian. People say, man, are you a comedian? I said, nah, man. Just, I look at life crazy. I joke, I laugh at life, man.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. So, you know, you go to a jazz concert, you usually sitting there listening to music.
Right.
Yours is a little bit different.
Yeah,
because
you're going to participate.
You're going to laugh,
yeah.
you're going to participate.
Right.
You're going to hear the music.
Exactly.
And that's why I think separates you from some of the other jazz concerts that I've seen.
Right.
So when you look at the state of jazz, what do you think the future is locally or just in general for the state of jazz in the future?
Locally, I think we're in a good spot locally.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're in a good spot because it happens in spurts.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you go, oh man, we kind of dying of no young kids, and the young kids you pray that somebody want to really read music instead of just be famous. We so caught up in fame. This internet game
Changed everything.
It changed everything, man. Some people hate it. I figured I just couldn't keep up fast enough with it because we were flipping CDs like it was candy.
Mm-hmm.
So when that hit us, that hit me in my pocket. I mean, it wasn't nothing for us to sell 5,000 CDs.
Mm-hmm.
That's $50,000.
So you saying you were able to, you understand how to sell the CDs, but you don't know how to sell the streams and that whole part.
Nah,
okay.
I'm so lost with that. My son is helping me big time, and he say some stuff, and I'm going, okay. And, you know, because I'm still reading hot maps every Monday on where my CD at. That's about my take. I'm being played in Finland. I'm played in here.
Mm-hmm.
So I like to look at my hot maps, but I am a master of throwing a concert, though.
Mm.
My son don't know that. You see what I'm saying? So now that we working, he's like, Pops, how do you lock these deals? I said, man, I go in and ask, okay, how much your venue? This is okay. I want it for this. And they a lot of time people shocked. I come at them like that.
So you doing the independent? You're booking the shows.
Oh yeah,
yourself.
man.
Okay.
Yeah. Now this show in Atlanta, I ain't doing that. But my other shows I'm doing, like in Chicago and all that. Oh yeah, I walk right in your club, and you know, and I'm gonna be honest, club owners is a trip.
Mm-hmm.
Cause they come up, well, you can't. I make $2,000 on liquor. So how much is your club? And they give me their answer. Now my tickets is 30 or 40. Now think about it. Nobody really knows me.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know who I am. They don't know what I'm gonna do. And I can sell a $30, $35 ticket. That's deep. You got to think about that for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Cause ain't nobody running to go buy my CDs, but somehow I can sell a $30, $35, sometimes $40, and pack the place. So now everybody in the joint scratching their head like, but when I get done with the show, they going, oh my God, hey man, you want to do one more night? I'm like, yeah. I said, but I ain't paying. No, you ain't got to. I did a guy like that.
Mm-hmm.
No, you ain't got to pay. You ain't got to pay. Just come back tomorrow. I said, where's what about your other act tomorrow?
Right.
And he said, just let me know you coming back tomorrow. So I do that. So no, man, I just look at What was your question? I got all sometimes I lose it. What was you trying to ask?
The original question was about how do you see the future of jazz?
Yeah, seeing the
going?
future. Yeah, seeing the future. I think we're in a good spot. Indie is like that, man. I remember back in the day. It was Greg Bacon all the time. Then it was, and I think I came around in the '80s. I was going out. Then Jason Curry. I don't know if he was a young cat. Look, and then there's Brian Thomas now.
Yeah, he's coming up.
He's coming up hard.
He's
Brian
good.
Thomas, he playing with Babyface now and all that stuff. Now, Brian, I remember Brian when he was a little bitty dude. He don't remember me, but so there's always somebody like that comes up in jazz. It's always. So I don't think jazz will ever die in indie, but we got to be real. Jazz has never been $1 million hit for nobody. The cast is making the real fat money is Boney James, Gerald Albright, Ken Waters, and so on and so on. And then you start getting your tears, because like when I went on the jazz cruise, I mean, when I go to different cities, I'm the big fish. Going to jazz cruise, I wasn't even in their pond. And they had some startup cats who was getting million streams. I ain't never seen a million streams. So I'm just saying, I think indie jazz scene is always going to be hot if the Jazz Kitchen keeps in there. I think about Sleepy Floyd. I got to give him a shout out. Cats like Sleepy Floyd, who's pushing the music. Jared, Kenny Phelps. Them kind of cats who are helping young people. Still training. The mayor, saxophone player. I can't think of his name, man. Boy, he's cold on saxophone. But anyway, guys like that who are backing schools and stuff and helping in the schools set up and being visible to the young people.
Is that where you think it starts at for jazz? Because, when you think about music, everybody wants to rap. Everybody wants to produce.
Yeah.
Even R&B ain't the same as it was in the 90s.
No.
You would see guys on singing groups. You don't really have groups like that no more. You don't even have,
right.
So how do you think that, you mentioned the schools, is that where you think it starts at when it comes to jazz? But do they even have music class anymore in schools?
School is so jacked up. School is a force. I mean, I don't want to get too political, but school is made to indoctrinate you into this system. It's not to elevate you. You know what I'm saying? So I had a syllabus of teaching music for 1 year. You remember that when I did that?
Yeah.
And it was so beautiful to see young people. I remember one of my favorite students is Ryan Fields.
Okay.
And that young man went to IU. He got his degree in studio technologies, and he's doing real good. He learned how to work with the big board, and we actually did a project with him. Me and my son did a project with him that we not even released. That we probably some of the songs we could release, the ones I ain't trying to sing in. You know what I'm saying? I got caught up in all that big stuff. I don't want the mic, nephew. That's how I went. Man, shoot. Everybody else sing. Get the mic. Put some effects on me right now. Affect me out. But no, man. So school just ain't the place right now because they not. They took wood shop out, home ec, sewing, mechanics. You need all that. Music, jazz. Now here's how bad it was with jazz when I was in school. You had to come after school to even be in the jazz band. They thought so little of it. And that's why I say, wow, how did I get into it? But it's the love of, because jazz is so broad, man. When you learn, I mean, I can say words like the Mixolydian chords and the 251. You see what I mean? Then it gets into numbers. Now I'm dealing with the Fibonacci sequence, understanding that it's based off of 137.5, which is an angle. But you play 1, 3, 5, 7 in the keyboard too.
We didn't deal with Fibonacci with the recorder.
Well, yeah, man.
I was bad on the recorder flute, but we didn't deal with Fibonacci.
Well, that's my own study.
Oh,
I got
okay.
into it was an aha moment.
Mm.
Aha moment, the power of numbers in music. It was an aha moment. And then I started learning about frequencies, how frequencies can stop water, move water, make water jiggle. It's crazy, man. So music for me has been, like you said, I feel like I'm a millionaire and just the knowledge, the adventures, and I don't care about, I like going to the groceries and stuff. Ain't nobody jumping all on me.
Mm-hmm.
I got buddies like that when I walk with them in L.A., I'm standing back. I mean, you know who you deal with now.
Yeah.
You dealing with some monsters, you know. And so I deal with buddies, people jumping, and I just stand back, and he's like, they going, man, all I want to do is just get a soda, Green. Mm-hmm. I said, man, I told y'all go and get it and bring my stuff out, you know. But so I like that now. I was just wondering. And then I got deep spiritually. Mm-hmm. What changed me from pursuing my goal, because here's what's crazy. I was living in Dallas. I was back there when, what's the name? All Push It, what's some girls?
Salt and Pepper.
Salt and Pepper. They came to Dallas. I got a chance to meet them. And then my boy, oh man, I'm going blank, man. But another cat, Dallas was here's how Dallas was. If you was a star in LA and you flew over here to New York or whatever, when you came back, they would schedule you sometime to play in all these clubs. And Dallas had some bad clubs. Was Tommy Kwan was a big cat, big heavy cat down in Dallas who I ain't gonna say he was on another level, put it like that. And he owned about 4 clubs, major clubs. Oh, it's is it time? Okay. So he owned like 4 clubs, major club. And I never forget, Rebe Jackson was coming from somewhere and got into the club. She sat in the limo. Remember that song Centipede? Mm-hmm. She didn't get out of that limo, and then Tommy Kwan gave her that briefcase of money. She sang 3 songs, bro, and jumped back in the limo and left. I said, man, we've been playing all night for $800. And we saw her do that. We blew our mind, you know. But that was just some pieces, my journeys, man. Some of them journeys, meeting good people, meeting bad people.
It's a part of it.
It's a part of it.
You don't know until you deal with it.
You don't know, man.
And,
but what I think why me and you hit it off so big, because we had that Florida deal. Mm-hmm. When we dealt with that pushed both of us to the limit of we gotta watch each other's back. Mm-hmm. That's when I looked at you and like, look, because this cat don't have the right integrity. Mm-hmm. He's squirming, and he pulling away from deals when you in the middle of a deal. That's horrible.
And people don't understand, and this is one thing that I've had to learn the hard way over business, is that I try to do what I say I'm going to do, right? Mm-hmm. But if me and you are talking to somebody, and then I come to you and I say, Unc, I'm going to do this on Friday. Mm-hmm. But I base it off of what this person has told me they're going to do for me on Thursday. Then when Thursday comes and it don't work, then I come to you on Friday and say, hey, I can't do it. Yeah. You looking at me like you can't hold your word.
You can't hold your word.
It ain't me. It's him.
Right,
he didn't do it. So, like you said, you meet good people, you meet bad people. But the problem is you don't know if they good or bad until you go through the situation. Yeah. So I can only imagine in the music industry going through 30 years, you've had those issues. Yeah, I had with a lot of that.
I think the kind of person I was too. The kind of here's the key though. Here's the situation.
I could have been on every chart you wanted me on, but I did not let you run me. I would cut the head off the snake before it bit me because I didn't want to be done like that. I didn't want to be told where and when to be somewhere, you know.
Right.
I just didn't want that, Will.
Yeah.
And that's why. And then when I got into spirituality, it opened my mind up so wide, man. I was like, music, the industry, I'm kind of done with
Put
that.
everything in perspective.
It puts so much in
So
perspective.
before we let you go, appreciate your time.
Yeah.
The last segment of every show is always going to be, who would you like to give your flowers to help you get to this point or make it through all of the situations that you've been through? Who would you like to say thank you to right now?
Yeah. Well, you know what? I'm just gonna give a shout out to some of the guys who need to get their flowers now. I think about Arnold Banks, Rodney Stepp, Paul Thomas. I got to give it to him because he's done a lot. So it's just people like that, man. Phil Coleman and so forth. But I'm going blank right now. But I got a prior book of cats, you know.
Well, listen, we're giving you your flowers. We appreciate you coming on the show.
I appreciate this, man. This was kind of fun.
This is what we do when we talk on the telephone. So we
we've been getting carried away on the phone. Yeah, you might have to say after dark on the telephone.
But again, we thank you. We thank everybody for tuning in, and we appreciate you on Candid Dialogue.